Hello, everyone. My name is Shu Wan, a third-year PhD student at George Mason University. I'm glad to talk about our work on understanding and defeating modulated replay attacks on automatic speech recognition systems. Automatic speech recognition is a technique that widely used in human-computer interaction systems, such as Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, and Microsoft Cortana. These systems take voice commands as inputs and provide diverse voice control services. Although automatic speech recognition systems provide many benefits and convenience, recent studies have found that a number of attacks can efficiently spoof and mislead the automatic speech recognition systems. The most powerful and practical attack among them is the audio replay attack. Attackers can connect victims' voice and play back the recorded voice samples to spoof the voice-controlled systems. To defeat audio replay attacks, researchers have proposed a number of methods to detect abnormal frequency features of audio signals. But these methods only focus on the frequency domain features. So our question is it possible to compensate for the effects of replay process? And in that case, the replay voice can have the same frequency features with human voice. And the answer is yes. In our work, we proposed modulated replay attack with a specific inverse filter. The effects of replay process and the inverse filter can cancel each other so that the modulated replay voice can bypass the frequency-based methods. In our modulated replay attack, firstly, we should analyze the replay process. The effects of replay process can come from the attacker's recording devices, analog to digital converter, digital to analog converter, and the playback device. Among them, we find the playback device has the most significant impact on the replay voice. The voice comes from the loudspeakers, contains low power additive noise. Also, the amplitude response of the loudspeaker is a high-pass filter with a cutoff frequency typically near 500 Hz. Based on these observations, our attack method is to design an inverse filter based on the loudspeaker amplitude response, so that the inverse filter can compensate for the effects bringing from the loudspeakers. In the first step, we test the loudspeaker with different single frequency signals and estimate the amplitude response of the loudspeaker using curve fitting. In the second step, we construct an inverse filter based on the loudspeaker properties. Our objective is that the amplitude responses of the inverse filter and the loudspeaker can cancel each other. And in the third step, we apply the inverse filter in the play-recorded audio and then perform replay attack. From the frequency spectrum, we find the frequency distortion in the replay audio is compensated by the inverse filter, and the modulated replay audio has the same frequency spectrum with the genuine audio. We further test the modulated replay audio with the existing frequency-based defense. The accuracy of detection drops by 40% to 90% for different types of detection methods, showing the effectiveness of the modulated replay attack. In our paper, we also proposed a countermeasure named due guide against the modulated replay attack. In our design, an audio is verified as human voice only if it can pass two domain checks. One check is a time domain verification. This step is used to detect the ringing artifacts in the modulated replay audio. Another check is a frequency domain verification. This step is used to detect the frequency distortion in the direct replay voice. The key insight of our defense is that it is inevitable for any replay audio to have ringing artifacts in the time domain or have spectrum distortion in the frequency domain. In the time domain defense, we mathematically prove that there must be linear effects in the modulated replay audio, which are the small oscillations in the time domain signals. We define the local extremer radio to present the linear effects. It is a radio of the local extremer amount to the total signal less. We can adjust the local window size. In the coarse granularity, the patterns are similar in both modulated replay audio and the genuine audio. But in the fine granularity, the local extremer amounts in the modulated replay audio could be greatly larger than that in the genuine audio. By using the local extremer radio patterns, we can detect the modulated replay attacks. In the frequency domain defense, we aim to detect the direct replay attack. The classic replay process would cause a spectrum distortion, and the spectrum distortion will lead to a different spectrum power distribution. So we calculate the cumulative density function of spectrum power distribution and use the area under the CDF curve as the final patterns to distinguish the direct replay audio. If the audio can pass both the time domain defense and the frequency domain defense, it will be accepted by the automatic speech recognition systems. We conduct the real-world experiments to verify the effectiveness of our defense. We connect an in-house dataset with 6 replay devices, including smartphone, pad, soundbox, and smart televisions. This dataset contains over 100 modulated replay audios, as well as a set number of the corresponding direct replay audios. We implement the prototype of DualGuide in a popular voice platform, the Ray Speaker called V2. Our defense contains 2-domain verification. In the time domain defense, we find the local extremer patterns with different granularity can efficiently distinguish the genuine audio and the modulated replay audio. While in the frequency domain defense, the area under the CDF of spectrum power distributions can distinguish genuine audio with direct replay audio. From the table, we find with different playback devices, the DualGuide can achieve about 90% detection accuracy for direct replay attack and 98% detection accuracy for modulated replay attack. Our program processes 32 millisecond less signal with 5.5 milliseconds, and it will occupy 12 megabytes in memory. Our experimental results also show that if attackers use different recording devices with different genuine audio sampling rates, it has no impact on our defense performance. We find our defense can work robustly under different noisy environments. Also, our experimental results show that higher ASR sampling rates can increase the detection accuracy for both the time domain and frequency domain defense. In conclusion, we proposed the modulated replay attack to compensate for the spectrum distortion in replay audio so that the modulated replay attack can bypass existing frequency-based defense. We also designed a defense system called DualGuide to detect all replay attacks by 2-domain verification. We finally implement a prototype in a voice platform to demonstrate the effectiveness of our methods. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can contact me by the following email address.